on the Cleveland Funny Bus. It's a 90-minute tour. Local comedians are your tour guides. It's a great time. Lee's from Collision Bend in the Flats. And Bill is your host tomorrow night. Funnybus.net. They do tours all the time. If you want to hang with us, they're on Wednesdays. But maybe that doesn't work for it. Schedule one yourself. It's a lot of fun. Funnybus.net. Click on Cleveland there. I need 2 winners now, okay? Tomorrow night, you'll join Bill on the Funny Bus. Callers 10 and 11. You each get a pair for tomorrow night. So good luck on the Cleveland Funny Bus. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Our live stream is now Scratch and Sniff, in that you can scratch the screen and then sniff your fingers. Yeah, the Alan Cox Show.
100.7.
Friday. And he wrote it, and he directed it, and he's in it, even though he didn't mean to be. But he's in it, and the guy does good work. We'll chat with him tomorrow about that. Guardians lose to the Rockies in Denver last night. Nobody saw that coming. Rockies are not a good baseball team. But evidence to the contrary last night, 8-6 was the final. Guardians set to play them again tonight and tomorrow. 8:40 first pitch tonight and tomorrow. Before the Guardians come home, they'll host the Nationals. They'll host the Royals before they go to Miami. So tomorrow night on MMS, on the iHeartRadio app, you can listen to the game. Somebody sent me a thing that 52 years ago today, they opened Memphis Kiddie Park. I didn't know that place was still open.
It'll never close.
Is that true?
It's been around forever.
52 years as of today. Yeah, I've never been. My wife and my kid have gone. But I don't think that but that was even a few years ago. I don't think I realized that it was still open. Is that a place that everybody went when they were kids?
Yes.
Around here? Yeah.
That's pretty standard childhood memory.
But it's like a small place, right?
Yeah, it's for like very little kids.
Yeah,
I'd say like 5 and under.
5, yeah.
I see.
Like I remember, like I know we went there when I was very, very young, but it's like one of those things where I barely remember going there.
All right. Well, I've never gone. So it wouldn't be good for me to go by myself.
I think you should. Go
to
try it out.
Cedar Point if you want to go.
No. Let him go to the Memphis Kiddie Park by
They won't let
himself.
you
By
in.
myself.
Let him go.
Will they let you in by yourself if you're over a certain age?
Probably not.
Yeah, but
If you're unaccompanied, but a lot of places are like you have to be accompanied by an adult. That sounds like a place where you have to be accompanied by a minor.
It's
To
like
get in
how
there.
that's how it was with Chuck E. Cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where's your kid? Like, I just want to hang out,
I just
eat some
wanna hang
pizza,
out.
play some games. Like,
Yeah.
can't do it.
Go to the casino like an adult. What are you talking about?
Not the kiddie casino.
No.
Yeah.
Not
I did-
alone? No.
I ran across a bonus hole in Geneva on the Lake,
I saw.
and
Bill's trying to cop my style.
yeah, well, it's more of a tribute.
Was it?
Also, I would think that you would want to spread the gospel of bonus hole, Mary.
I mean, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
I
I
hope
was like-
everybody enjoys it and has fun.
I had some quarters because we had just come from the other a different arcade, and I saw there was bonus hole, and this machine was
Trash.
it was
Was it
not-
also called bonus hole?
It was called bonus hole,
Yeah.
and when you hit the pause button,
Skill stop.
the skill stop button, whatever it's called,
Mary knows all the terminology.
it was so hot, and then it kept falling off. The button kept falling off,
Oh, nice.
and so yeah, that machine was had seen better days.
This is a
But
janky ass machine.
we got a ring.
You didn't even have any prizes, like good prizes in there.
There was a Batman fidget spinner, and then there were some folded up dollars. They
Oh,
were
I
like
didn't
folded
see
up like a
those
football. Yeah,
on your video.
yeah. They were like they're kind of covered by quarters, but there was some. I think they were 10s or 20s, so not a high price,
High limit.
high limit. But we did get a ring out of it. Got a
There you
ring.
go. Did you propose to your girlfriend with it?
No.
Unbelievable.
But he really is trying to cut in on your action, Mary. He's getting
Ridiculous.
rings out of the bonus
Absolutely
hole.
ridiculous.
Yeah. What kind of ring? Like a plastic
It's like a metal
A
ring.
fake
It looked-
ruby?
It looked like the kind of
Like where you bend the ring around your finger?
No, it was
fit?
like a solid metal ring, but it was like the design on it looked like a tribal tattoo. So a pretty cool ring.
Well, what was it? A tribal tattoo or pretty cool?
That's a pretty cool
Can't be
travel
both.
It can do. It can
Ah.
be both. Yeah.
Is there any kind of bonus hole finder online?
I don't
think you're going to
know.
find
Okay.
that.
I mean, you got pretty good chance in any arcade you go to.
Any arcade, any
Some casinos have like actual
version, yeah.
high limit ones. We're doing bonus hole tomorrow night for everybody interested.
How much are you at?
$101.
That's insane. You're going to be there so
Congratulations.
long.
Wow.
Well, I have to go at night. I mean, unless I woke up at 7 in the morning.
Yeah, you can't
but
go during
yeah.
peak hours.
Right. So I have to go after work tomorrow. And that's why I was like, they close at 10. Like, I can't be there longer than that, you know? And it only takes a half hour to wash my clothes. So I will play bonus hole while my clothes are drying. And that's only 80 minutes. So it's all got to get spent in that time. But I also have to stop at the bank tomorrow morning and get $100 worth of quarters.
How? Oh God. How?
It's so heavy.
There's simply no way to know how many quarters that is. But
Too many.
what? Do you have any kind of sense of how quickly you can burn through any given amount of money?
Well, I mean, I could put all of it in one spin if I wanted to.
You could put 100. How?
I mean,
Just
maybe not all of it, but
you
if
put
I
the pause
stop
on,
it
yeah.
and then just load it up with $30 worth, I could do that 3 times.
Oh, I must not have a good sense of what this thing is. I thought it was a thing where you roll the quarter and you try to get it on the. I thought you'd have to do a quarter by quarter.
No, you can pause it and put in as many quarters as you want. No, one at a time. I'd be there 7 days.
Well,
if
that's
I was
what.
doing it one at a
That's
time.
why I was unclear because the thing
No.
I'm thinking of is the thing with the. You know, the I've seen your videos, the metal thing that pushes the piles of
Yeah.
quarters,
you
and you
don't
hope
have to
that
do
they-
them one at a time.
You don't
you
have to
can,
do 'em,
You
okay.
can. What's the skill stop is what it's called.
Skill
You
stop.
can hold down that button and then just load it up.
You
Which is
load
gonna
it
be
all up.
what I'm going to have to do because I'm not. It's 404 quarters. That's too many. It's way too many.
Well, you got to tell people to stop sending you
But
money.
also, that's the other thing. I'm going to get there, and if they didn't restock it with money or new watches or other items,
Yeah,
then I'm going to
fine.
be like, guys, I'm just going to send your money back because this is stupid.
Yeah, the one I'm looking at, it's basically all coins, and then it's got like a couple of Pokemon cards in it. This is the thing that you're talking about. This is what your bonus hole looks like.
We do
Yeah,
have
that's what it
Pokemon
looks like.
cards
It just
that are in
slides,
Yeah.
and then they're trying to get some Pokemon cards. So, is there like a little scoop where you just pour a bunch of the quarters in,
No, one at
It's
a
a little
time, but you
slot.
load them up.
load them up one at a
Because you can
time?
hit a button that stops it,
Yeah.
and then you can just put a whole bunch in.
All right. Well, that'll be fun for you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night is bonus hole.
Tomorrow night, there's
Yeah.
a reminder on my Instagram. in case
And you have to blow through the money that's in your Venmo when you do it.
I mean, I don't have to, but
But I
it
mean,
would
that's
be,
that's-
it would be lying if I took people's
Well,
money.
no.
and
You
didn't
say,
use
here's,
it for it.
I've got to go. Here's what's left for next time.
Or we could do that.
I'm not saying pull the wool over anybody's eyes. You just
Yeah.
go, here's what's left for next time.
Right.
Next time we're starting here.
We could do that.
Right. Because to your point, you got a life to lead. I mean, it's all,
Right.
it's literally all fun and games, but.
I cannot be at the. I mean, I physically they close at 10 o'clock.
Right.
I can't be just hanging after hours. 2 more rounds.
Yeah, you should talk to them about that. Go look. Is there any wiggle room here?
After hours bonus hole.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth looking into.
It's more of a Saturday night thing.
Right.
Everything is for sale there. Ask them if they can they give you a little bit of wiggle room on the bonus hole. Hey, Bill Walton died.
Yeah.
Bill Walton, I'm sorry?
I said I don't know who that is.
Man, he was a legend. Basketball, he was a great commentator when you'd see him talk about stuff. He's a big deadhead, so he'd always have like tie-dye shirts on and stuff. The dude had already had a ton of surgeries on his feet by the time he was like 50. And he had been battling cancer for a while. Bill Walton was a dude that had a lot of respect in his playing days. He won championships in high school and college and the NBA. He was considered one of the best ever players
Yeah, he's great.
at all 3 of those levels. And people really loved him when he would do play-by-play. Did some basketball, did some baseball games. And I don't think he had retired from that, had he? I mean, I know he got obviously real sick in recent time.
He hasn't been doing that for a few years.
Okay.
He was in Little Nicky. He had a little cameo
that's
in there.
right. Yeah. You talk about bonus hole, he would always use the term honey hole. Remember he'd use the term honey hole during the games?
If he can handle it there at the honey hole, then you're going to have a chance to come up with a whole different variety of offensive attack.
Why don't you explain that term? What is the honey hole?
A honey hole is a long-term basketball phrase where it's right at the free throw line area. That's where the honey is, right?
Right.
We were talking about Winnie the Pooh. It all rolls into one, right? You're looking for the honey. So you get to the honey hole, and then good things happen. And when you're playing against the zone defense, when you're playing any kind of basketball, you want to get that ball to the free throw line, the honey hole. So that's what's going to set up your offensive attack.
The honey hole, baby. No, Bill Walton was heavy duty. And he was, he would get in trouble back in the day, too. There are parallels to athletes now who run afoul of some people's political opinions, He was anti-war during Vietnam. He had long hair in college, so he was always – John Wooden was his coach at UCLA, and they were constantly fighting about something. But he won national titles at UCLA, 2 seasons with perfect 30-0 records. And he's in there with like 44 points, And then he went first with the Trailblazers. And he
won their only championship.
Yep, won a championship with them 3 years after he got in.
And he went to the Celtics in the 80s and played off the bench and helped them win, 4.
Yeah.
They won 4 or 5. I think they won 5.
He had 39 foot surgeries. And back pain in 2008 that he said almost pushed him into suicide.
I haven't even had any foot surgeries. He's so far ahead of me.
You got to catch up.
Crazy, dude.
You got to catch up to him. Because I'm like you. I've had 0 foot surgeries. And I have 2 feet.
Yeah.
That's double the opportunities. More people commit suicide from back pain, he said, than any other malady. And it destroys every aspect of your life. I mean, the guy was like 7 feet tall. And so he had spinal surgery. He was talking about his feet on Letterman 20 years ago.
This past summer when I had my 31st operation.
Now, see, that's what, on your feet?
On my feet,
That's what I was talking about. That's crazy, isn't it?
When I was lying in the hospital bed, and it's a very serious major operation, 6 months of just laying down there. And my second son, Nathan, who was 24 years old, he came over and sat on the edge of the bed, and he said, "Dad, it's been a long, hard road for you. What are you going to do when your foot finally gets better? What are you going to do when you get up out of this bed?" He said, "Nathan, I am never going to sit down again." And so now that we're here in the playoffs, the basketball game has been my life.
Mm-hmm. But he was, he's always he was a deadhead. And so his, again, his politics ran afoul of what a lot of people thought they should be. But he was, he was an activist on campus when he was at UCLA. He was a big part of a lot of those anti-war protests. So there are obviously direct parallels to what's happening today. And he was a big star at UCLA. And so he's like, well, I have this outsized presence on campus. Maybe I should use it for things that I believe in.
Yeah.
He wrote a memoir a few years ago called Back from the Dead. But, he was always a dude that you'd see in his broadcasting years. Just people liked him, and he had a good vibe about him. Especially for somebody who, you got to think about somebody who's spent so much of their professional life in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Any athlete at that level something always hurts. And that's a tough thing to live with.
Is it if you make tens and hundreds of millions of dollars?
Well, he wasn't back then. I mean, these were the guys in the 70s weren't the ones making that kind of money.
No.
But also,
they weren't making the equivalent?
No.
No.
What were they making? What was like a 70s basketball player's salary?
If you made $1 million, you were like,
that's
upper echelon.
That's a ton of money back then.
But that wasn't what they were making. He was probably making $300,000, $400,000 a season.
I mean,
which is still a lot of money back then, but it's still not.
$1 million in 1975 is $5.8 million today.
Right,
and
but he's
top
not,
players
that's a
are
lot of
making
money.
25 to 40 million season.
And
you're right.
he wasn't playing now.
Yeah.
He was playing then.
Yeah.
So it's like, all those athletes of that time will say, we didn't make the money in our careers that these guys are making in a year now. Guys like Terry Bradshaw and things like that. But to your question about pain, it's like the money gives you access to maybe alleviating the pain, but the money's not, you're still in pain all the time. You're lying there going, it's great that I have all this money. I can't go do anything. I'm confined to whatever.
So 79 to 85, he had a 7-year, $7 million contract. So he's getting $1 million a year.
There you go.
5.8 a year today.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm on record as believing money will solve all your problems. So if I had, $30 million in the bank, I'm all right if my feet hurt.
And I'm on record as hoping you find out.
Wouldn't that be great? But that's what I'm saying. Like, my feet hurt. Cut them off. You got $30 million. What do you need feet for? You know what I mean?
Could you just put a couple of shopping cart wheels at the end of my ankles and see what's up?
Turn me into a buggy. I got 30 mil.
There probably couldn't be a better time not to need, but to have access to that kind of surgery now. Right? They're doing amazing things. I just was watching a video this morning. They put some Iron Man arm on this kid.
That's what I'm saying.
Who was like born, his arm didn't develop past the forearm.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little kid, so they give him an Iron Man looking arm, and that's pretty cool if you're a kid.
How much could it possibly cost to get prosthetic feet? Give me new feet.
Prosthetic feet.
Really
I'm sure there are plenty of wounded veterans who'd be happy to tell you in the aftermath of Memorial Day. I'm sure there are a lot of them who, fell shy of that.
There's a girl doing this is how much my outfit costs, and it's like $15,000, and it's like shoes $40, jeans $60, and then hoodie $60, and then prosthetic leg $14,000.
Right.
So yeah, so they're pretty expensive.
But if you are a millionaire,
you're
that's
right.
nothing.
No, that's nothing. But then you don't have feet.
What do you need feet for? That's my whole point. Is what do you need feet for?
Well,
I think I like my feet.
But what I'm saying is that kind of money doesn't solve the problem. You still don't have feet.
It takes away your pain.
Well, but
you're not in pain anymore, and you got new science feet.
I don't understand. If Bill Walton had if Bill Walton had spinal pain that drove him to consider suicide, it doesn't sound to me like the money's solving the problem. Obviously he has the money to have access to spinal surgery and things like that, but that you hope that goes well too. You're like, fingers crossed on this spinal surgery, because if it doesn't go well, I'm not going to be able to cross my fingers ever again. About $11,000 is the starting price on an above-the-knee prosthetic leg.
That's nothing.
It's nothing if you got $1 million a year coming in. You're right. A more advanced computerized prosthetic leg controlled by muscle movements can cost upwards of $100,000.
Still nothing.
That's if you have, right. But you also have to think most of the people who have these, I would venture to say 99% of the people who have these are not millionaires.
Right. But we're talking about a case where we're talking about this guy who was a millionaire who could just get new feet. Now, the back, I'll give you that. That's a little more complicated.
But he was also using them all the time. He's not going to be out there playing for a team on prosthetic feet.
But he didn't start getting the surgeries until after he was done, right?
Well, I
think he was getting all through his career.
through. You can't have 39 of them by the time you're 50 and get them just when you stop playing.
That's what you think. You're a busy boy.
He really was a busy boy. During his playing time, he's like, man, I can't wait till I retire so I can get some new feet. God, just think about foot surgery. Just slicing the sole of your foot. Oh. Just into any part of your foot. Oh. It's one thing if they want to laser away a couple of spider veins. But when they're digging into your foot, and then you're hobbling around for God knows how long, you just laid up, all you want to do is get out there and play basketball again. Any kind of professional athlete that gets surgery. Like, oh, yeah, my brother-in-law. His bicep came off his bone. Yes.
Nice.
So he had to walk around like with his arm in a thing, and it was like, it's hard to describe.
Happen?
Huh?
What was he doing?
He works in a warehouse or something. I don't know. And he's like management, but I mean, he was doing something he shouldn't have been doing or didn't realize he shouldn't have been doing and like pulled away from like, oh my God. And that's like, an old timey window shade, right? It just flips up your arm and then they got to go in and like straighten it back out so they can connect it and you can use it again. But man, he was in this contraption for a while. Like, got to sleep sitting up and oof. Hoofa.
Oofa. That would, yeah. I tore my hamstring. Ow, God, just talking about it made my hamstring tighten up.
Like, did you do it again?
I just got a cramp right in that.
Oh, God.
Did a lot of
that
walking
mind-body
this weekend.
connection there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I tore my hamstring at my senior year of high school playing lacrosse. And,
oh, my God.
Dude, that was brutal. It just, like, my leg just stopped moving, and I face planted.
Yeah.
And then it didn't heal really until about March. It took forever.
Alan, Mary can't sell foot picks, so she got no feet.
Well,
She doesn't need to.
Well, here's what you do, though. What I think.
Prosthetic foot.
Well,
game?
no.
Oh, come on.
No, you just keep the feet. You take pictures of the feet.
Pump them full of formaldehyde.
Well,
or whatever
yeah.
they put into dead bodies.
Or Big Macs or fries. Just put them under that dome there. Yeah. And you take pictures. You can say, I didn't say that these were. There's no fine print that says these are connected to my body. Right.
Nobody said I couldn't sell dead feet pics. They are my feet.
Here's my 2 gray necrotic feet.
Or I could find a real big taker and sell the feet.
Yes.
Sell the dead feet.
No, you just let them decompose, but you keep the nail polish brand spanking new. Super tight.
Stinky.
I got a break. Send me a text, 35192 if you want to. You can listen anywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And if you want to watch, you can do it at alancoxshow.com.
Sun's out, buns out.